I'm on 104.5 The Beat in Knoxville. It's Friday night, and I got a special guest on the phone. I got Flo Rida. Flo, what's good, man?
What up, my brother?
Not too much, man. I'm just chilling. All right, before we get this interview started, I want to tell you a story. Is that okay?
It's all good.
All right, cool. So before I moved out here to Knoxville, I lived in Orlando, and one weekend, I went down to Fort Lauderdale. I was in a club, and there's a guy performing on stage. I have no clue who this guy is. And he goes, yo, this is going to be my next hit single. We're going to go to Tallahassee. We're going to get T-Pain on the hook. This is going to be a smash. And I look at my friends. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? He's not getting T-Pain on no song. A year later, I'm listening to my radio, and Lo comes on the radio. I was like, oh, man, that's the dude that I saw perform this in the club in Fort Lauderdale. Like, he wasn't lying. And it wound up being a smash. I've always said that if I talk to you, I would love to tell you that story because I thought that was really dope.
Wow, this is what fate has.
Exactly. So, a lot of people talk about it. You actually did it, so I think that's real dope, and I just want to share that with you.
Oh, man, definitely, man. Appreciate that. I love hearing stories like that.
Absolutely. All right, so speaking of Lo, that was your first single to hit and get real big. And with it going number one, how have you been able to follow that up consistently with bigger hits and selling, iTunes records and all that kind of stuff?
I definitely was inspired by the success of that record. I always say you got to practice how you play, how you want to play in the game, and I think that's what keeps me going. The team that I have around me, you're only as strong as your team.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys that's around me, I grew up known for a long time, and I'm very passionate about music. So I think when you love something, you give it your maximum effort, and I think that's definitely what gives me the longevity.
It's been, about 7 or 8 years since you had Lo, right?
Yeah, 8 years.
That's wild, man. It's crazy when you think about it. All right, so the new single, GDFR. Talk to me about that one, man. How did that come about?
GDFR, shout out to my boy Stage, Gemini, and Lucas, who produced the track. I actually met my boy Stage, years back prior to him having a record deal. We came in the studio where I was at, recording in L.A., and he was just like, commending me on my success. And then here it is, years later, I got a chance to get in the studio and work with him, and it was very interesting to see how passionate he was and how so sure he was about the hook on the record. Like, he was just trying different words and things like that, but he was just, man, I'm telling you, it needs to go like this. And I was just like, I co-signed. Yeah. And just happy with the success of it right now.
All right, one of the guys that works here, he wanted me to ask you, what is going down?
Party's going down. Whatever I'm going to like the party.
And a lot of your songs and your singles wind up becoming big anthems. When you go into the studio, do you go in with that mentality, like, I want to have this song be an anthem and have people sing it over and over and over again? Or do you just kind of make a song and it just kind of happens to blow up the way it does?
I like to work with the same ingredient for each record. And that thing is going in the studio and perfecting everything after having records in the Guinness Book of World Records and just having the much success I've had. I definitely set the bar, so a lot of times I don't want to go in there and do anything less. So I just think it's just about the effort. It's nothing where it becomes something where I'm intimidated or nervous about the last record. It's just, you just know the effort that you've given something, and I just go in there and give it each and every time.
So you go in with the mentality, as long as I put in more effort than I did the last time, I'll be good.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, so because you're in the industry, but the music industry has changed quite a bit over the years, and a lot of people, like to put labels on people, and a lot of people say Flo Rida is a singles artist. How do you feel about, when people say that? Does that bother you? Do you not care, or do you just kind of like, hey, I'm gonna do my thing and whatever works, stick with that same thing?
I look at music as a gift. I look at it as something that the world appreciates, something that the world couldn't live without. And I look at it like climbing a mountain. As long as you're doing something positive, no matter how you climb to the mountain, get to the top. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I love what I've been doing, and just looking back on the success, I've done an amazing job. Look at it like just different levels. A lot of times people love eating the same gumbo. Me, I like to be able to do it all.
Got you. That's what's up.
I get a chance to go around the world and do things. I can do mixtapes and, here and there, jump on other people's records here and there. And I just love creating new lanes, creating new avenues, and definitely happy about it.
And we talked about your songs being anthems. One of your songs is a personal anthem for me. Your first song of yours that I heard was Cake.
Oh, yeah. On my birthday.
I don't want no every year for my birthday, whenever I do a party or whatever I do, like I think I'm up to No Cake 6 right now.
After putting out a record like that, you definitely have to go to a whole nother level. If you ain't gonna have your cake every day.
Exactly. Every year, I have to hear that song on my birthday. I got to sing it when I'm drunk. That's my anthem for my birthday. So thank you. I appreciate that.
all day, man. Thank you.
You're in the studio a lot, and I'm sure you've worked with so many people from Pitbull to Kesha to, I can go on for days. Who's somebody that you haven't worked with yet that you would want to, or you're planning on working with sooner in the future?
Well, I always tell people, like, I'm a big fan of Beyonce. I got the chance to go on tour with her in Australia, and just to see her go out, I know what it takes for me to go on stage and perform, the energy that I give each and every night. So to see her go out there and have a big band and everybody's in sync, and just being able to uphold the success she has makes me definitely want to do a collaboration with her. She's one of the greats of our time, so definitely that'll be a dream collaboration.
That would be a smash too if it ever happened. So if you can make that happen, we would appreciate that. What did you think about Kanye at the Grammys?
His own,
Yeah.
I just feel like whatever you put on, just being to receive it, and I guess he's up for it.
All right, I got a couple questions that I got from people on social media. Somebody wanted to know what song gets the biggest response when you're doing a show?
All the time, your latest record. Always gets the big response. Definitely when Low comes on, that's a classic.
Yeah.
Super classic, and never get tired of that.
I don't think anybody doesn't like that song, and if you do, there's probably something wrong with you. Another question that a lot of people want to know about was like your workout plan. You're obviously in good shape. They want to know like what is it that you do when you go to the gym?
Definitely, it's very organic for me. I've been working out since high school, but I actually have a workout regimen for those who want to know. It's called Flow Fit. You can go to flowfit.com.
Okay.
Pick that up. It has 8 different DVDs. It's cardio. It has a meal plan with this workout. It's definitely something you can do at home. The most fun weight you have to deal with is like a couple dumbbells or so.
Oh, wow.
Definitely after being on stage for over hours, so having these up-tempo records is something that I have to do. And I'm pretty sure the fans will definitely enjoy it. We have Flow Fusion, which is a pre-workout formula that's in all the GNCs around the world. Definitely helps you to get you going, prior to you working out. Helps you burn calories as well as Celsius, the energy drink. You can go to Celsius.com and check that out.
Gotcha.
Get the Flow Fusion product as well.
Cool. And then one last question. Let's talk a little bit about Natalie La Rose. She's kind of, blown up here, and she's signed to your label. So how did that come about? Where did you find her?
Well, Natalie's from Amsterdam. She actually moved to L.A. around the time I discovered her. She actually walked up to me in the club after one of my shows when I was performing, and the next day her and her friend actually came to the studio. They was in the group, and I was just like, wow, someone, you could sing, you dance, you play the piano, triple threat. From that point on, I actually let her come on the road and, do some singing with me on stage and let her perform some of the records we had recorded. And as soon as I saw her, I knew she was a star.
Yeah.
So to have the success she has, is just amazing. She's doing just what God has given her heart's desire, and I look forward to doing some great things.
Is she going to be on your album, or are you going to be on hers? Are we going to see you two doing something?
Yeah, I'll definitely be on her album.
What about your album? When can we expect it, and what can we expect to hear on it?
My album is actually coming out sometime in April. It's called My House. We got Chris Brown on the album. We got my man Robin Thicke on Little Earth, Wind & Fire.
Oh, wow.
On the record with Robin Thicke, and definitely, as far as an official date, check out my Instagram at official_Florida Twitter.
All right, Flo, we appreciate your time, man. Thanks for calling in, and you keep doing your thing, all right, brother?
Thank you, my brother.